I identify as non-Biden area. Out of all my shirts, boy, this gets them wokesters. They get so mad at that. Cause see, I don't speak wokenese, guys, okay? But that's for another video. But anyways, I'm out here in front of the Palace Station. There's a coin shop, a coin show this weekend at the Palace Station. And I'm meeting a few people up here. One of them is Silver Scorpion, longtime YouTuber in the silver community and a longtime friend of mine, a longtime supporter of the channel. He's here, so I think we're gonna maybe have some lunch or something, play some blackjack, and maybe do a video for his channel and then for my channel or whatever. But anyways, Michael Saylor, the video I did yesterday, and if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's a good video. Not because I did it, of course. I was mentioning him in the video, basically saying, you know, his little saying, what he says.
It's going up forever, Laura.
About it's going up forever, Laura. And in that video, I was saying how much Bitcoin he has, him and MicroStrategy. And as I'm making the video, I found out he bought some more Bitcoin. Or him and his company bought Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, which he's the CEO of, or in charge of it. I don't know if he's the CEO anymore. But they purchased 16,130 Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken, at just under 600 million, like 500 and something millions. Guys, listen. From here on out, this channel is going to be based on, obviously, freedom, but it's going to be based on Bitcoin giving you that freedom. Because if you fix the money, you fix the world, ladies and gentlemen. This Bitcoin ETF, the probabilities say it's coming out or it's going to be passed by January 10th. Nothing's guaranteed. But I obviously live in Las Vegas, if you haven't noticed. There's the stratosphere. I don't know if you can see it. And it's a beautiful city, man. I'm not much of a gambler. I have gambled before. But when I put my money into something, I like the probabilities to be closer to my favor or in my favor. And I play probabilities. I don't play probablies. I just don't do it. I play probabilities, and the probabilities are saying that it's a 90% or better chance that the Bitcoin spot ETF, and that is key, not futures, spot ETF is going to be passed Q1 2024. The number is saying January 10th, but if it's past that, it'll be in Q1, maybe March at the latest. But it's any day now. You know what I mean? I think we're going to wake up one day and it's just going to happen. The reason I'm making this video, not to tell you about Michael Saylor and how much Bitcoin he has. He's a multi-billionaire.
The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right.
But you need to get to whatever the number is that you're comfortable with getting the Bitcoin. You got to get to that number based on your knowledge, and you got to study. You got to study Bitcoin. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying. If you don't understand Bitcoin, I don't tell anybody what to do with their money. I don't. Obviously, this is not financial advice. But if you're here watching my channel and you're a repeat listener and you don't have any Bitcoin, I'm sorry, guys, you're on the wrong channel. You just are, because I'm gonna keep talking about Bitcoin. And if you're sitting on a bunch of precious metals and you got stocks and bonds and you know all this stuff that you got, and you have nothing allocated to Bitcoin, you're not playing the probabilities correctly, ladies and gentlemen. You're just not. You got to study Bitcoin, okay? I would start off, if I had to study Bitcoin, if I was starting off new, what I would do is I would read the Bitcoin Standard. That's a great book. You can also go on YouTube and just listen to it on YouTube, the Bitcoin Standard. I would listen to the What is Money show by Robert Breedlove. It's actually the 3-year anniversary of him and Michael Saylor's famous podcast, where Michael Saylor, I think it's like 9 episodes. Michael Saylor just absolutely.
The human race has never had an effective money, a mathematically sound, thermodynamically sound money. Gold was the closest thing, but it was way too inefficient. It bleeds energy too fast in time and in space. Just showing them how much more efficient, how much higher the quality of living is should they adopt a better energy technology.
Oh my God. If you don't buy Bitcoin after listening to that, then oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. A lot of people say get to 1 Bitcoin. You got to get to 1 Bitcoin. Of course, that would be great. And I said in my last video, people are getting priced out of Bitcoin. You're not going to get priced out. You're going to get it at the price you deserve. Every Bitcoiner I talk to says the same thing. Man, when I first saw it, I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was garbage. I said the same thing for months and for years, actually, because, you know, we've seen it for years. Never took the time to study it. Listening to people that don't know anything about it and listening to people that are financially incentivized, let's just say, not to like it.
But to me, it's just another bubble. In fact, it's probably the biggest bubble when it comes to, you know, how ridiculous it is, because I ultimately think that cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, have no value at all.
So when people say get to 1 Bitcoin or get to this amount of Bitcoin, what I say is get to where you're comfortable with. Get to where you study at, or how much you learned about Bitcoin, and then where you're comfortable at, get that much, right? No more, no less. You know what I mean? If you don't know anything about Bitcoin, you haven't even heard of the word and don't know what I'm talking about, don't buy any. But if you've heard of Bitcoin and you've been on my channel and you've seen all these videos that I've been doing and you don't have Bitcoin, again, you're on the wrong channel. I'm sorry. Again, I don't tell anybody what to do with their money. But come 2024, I'm going hard on Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be doing some serious traveling around the country and a few places around the world. And I'm getting the word out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting the word out. There's only 21 million coins, guys, that'll ever be minted. I think right now we're just over 19.5 million minted up until this point as of recording this video. And for another 116 years, 117 years or whatever it is, there's only going to be just under 1.5 million more mined. And out of those 19.5 million that have been mined already, estimated, I've heard the lowest 4 million up to 7 million have been lost. And how have they been lost? In the early days when Bitcoin first started, when Bitcoin wasn't worth anything, the first year and almost a half, almost 15, 16 months, it wasn't worth anything. It was just coming out, you know, half of the supply, like I said, 19.5 million been mined already. 10.5 million were mined in the first 4 years, half the supply of the 21 million supply, and nobody cared about it. Didn't have a price. It was BS. Nobody really understood it. Businesses and layers and stuff like that weren't built on top of Bitcoin, and all these things that are built on top of Bitcoin now weren't there. The information wasn't there. The education wasn't there, and people lost it on computers. They lost their passwords. Some people died. Some people had it on old hard drives.
In 2013, a British man accidentally threw away a hard drive. It contained 7,500 Bitcoin. Fast forward to today, the crypto inside that hard drive is worth more than $350 million.
People even today still lose their keys. And when they lose their keys to their Bitcoin in the blockchain, people like us say thank you, because that's like having gold or silver and somebody loses a bunch of gold and silver and you can never recover it again. What's that do to the gold and silver you have? What's that do to the Bitcoin that we have when those people lose those coins or the key phrases? We're gonna have to wake these people up together, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not awake and you don't have Bitcoin, again, what are you doing? I'm going to be a lot, I'm a nice guy and stuff like that, but I'm going to be very, very blunt on this channel come 2024. It's not time to be nice. I believe this. We are heading towards a 1776 moment in this country, particularly in the United States of America. And I just got a funny feeling it's going to be some crazy stuff, man. So you got to buckle up and be ready. But in order to be ready, you got to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is Bitcoin. And when you have Bitcoin, you fix the money and you fix the world. And hope is there when you have that. It really is. And you got to study it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do your best to study it. And do your best to defend your family. Be the best man or woman you can be in 2024. This is not a New Year's resolution. I'm telling you, be the best version of yourself. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. I've had people ask me when I sold my silver, how many ounces did you sell? And, oh man, you had way more than me. Or, man, you almost had as much as me. Who cares what I have? You know what I mean? The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself, your past self, right? Set small goals within your long-term goals, medium goals. I got a 10-year goal for 2033. You know what I mean? I got a 5-year goal. I got a 1-year goal. I got a, month goal, a weekly goal, a daily goal. And that's how you hit those big goals. You know what I mean? Is be the best version of yourself. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. Get yourself spiritually right. Pray to God. Be a strong man or woman for your family and friends. Be a leader out there, all right? And don't lead from the back, lead from the front. And remember, freedom of speech is at risk. Our freedoms are at risk. And our sovereignty and individualism is too. And we got to keep on fighting, all right? I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.